Hi guys, so yesterday we had an insane push in Bitcoin. You can see that Bitcoin has now for the month of February gained about 50% in price. That's crazy. So Ethereum, the alts, the total market cap is rallying up now, nicely moving in harmony, and you can see that Ethereum and some of the alts are catching up. So that brings us to the title for today's stream. How far can we go before crypto retraces? Big question. It's a question you need to worry, because I mean, if things goes up in a straight line like that, you need to take note. I mean, things like that, if it's fast, it doesn't last. So how long will this last? And then should you be buying Bitcoin right now? Because if this is the case, look, we've been struggling with the alt season. You can see Total 3 still not doing well. Is there any alternatives? And I've got a couple of alts that I actually want to share with you guys today. That's going to help with just that. So if you traded live with us yesterday, congratulations as well, because you had a nice trade. I mean, it literally just took off from the time that we had to stream. So we made some really good gains. So in the comments, let me know. And then, yes, we have BTC all-time high. And I see a lot of your comments, a lot of excitement in the market. And the market is crazy bullish. It's crazy, guys. Look, extreme greed for the first time. Hello, my friend. I missed you. But this is now the caveat to the whole message. This is where the viewers are going to start dropping off and say, this guy's crazy. When it's going too well, this is where you need to become uncomfortable. And I'm going to show you things in the charts today that's going to help you guide you through this as well. So as I'm going to introduce you new coins, I'm going to explain why, and you're going to learn something along the way. We are the Teach a Man to Fish YouTube channel, not a Give a Man a Fish YouTube channel. All right. So before we do that, do me a solid, hit the like, hit the subscribe, share with a friend. Let's help grow the community. It's in your hands. This is not trending content. It will never be trending content. So unless you do that, do me that solid, we're always going to stay a small little undiscovered channel. Okay. So let's get to the next chart. Right. So we've got Bitcoin moving now, and we've got the halving, and we're still far away from the halving. And we're sitting at all-time high levels. Now, never before has this happened, that we might hit all-time high before halving. Now, in my opinion, that should not matter that much. Why? Because this is where more supply was entered into the market. Remember now, when you were moving up to the first halving, the amount of BTC per block that was released was a lot. And it's reduced, and it's reduced. But now we're sitting in a situation where network effect is still taking on. And network effect can also be considered as the adoption curve. Now, typically what the adoption curve is, the easiest way to visualize this is to think about a touchscreen phone. Now, I don't know about you guys, but before touchscreen phones really came out and became so popular, we had Nokias. I mean, that's where and everybody had it. And as everybody had it, I mean, it went through from the richest, fanciest, all the way to kids at school, same Nokia. And then smartphones came out. And then there was a few businessmen that had the touchscreen phones. And slowly but surely, it just evolved, and it went into where we are today. Now everybody's got that. And that adoption curve is basically what drives the price for BTC. Now, if you ask yourself the simple question, does everybody in the world use cryptocurrency? No, the answer is simple. So there's more adoption to be had, hands down. Does all the businesses use blockchain technology to run the bookkeeping that what it basically is solving, issues with bookkeeping, the human error section of it? No, there's still a lot of adoption that needs to happen. But the fact is that when we look at the supply of BTC, 80% of the supply is already released. So although BTC is still inflationary, it's getting less as we're reaching up to a wider audience. So the fact that we might hit halving, we might hit all-time highs before halving, should not bother you too much. That's my opinion. That means nothing, guys. We trade with technical analysis, in fact. So let's have a look at some technical analysis. I've explained these supply and demand rays with you guys nicely. And I said once price moves into one of these zones, what happens is it gets captured. So let's move it on into the future. It gets captured. And then once it breaks out, it's going to go into the next area. And there we are. We're in the next area. Now, did I imagine in all my in all the streams I did that it's going to just do this and go all the way up there? No, I didn't imagine that. But I've warned you guys many times, divergence is a very bullish signal when you're in a market like this. So this caught me by surprise and caught a lot of people by surprise. But now that we are here, I want to take a step back and I want to look at this chart real quick. And this is Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. And this is where we now need to start adding and thinking about this on a common sense level. Okay. When we look at the RSI being so heavily extended, that normally at some stage gives us buy the dip opportunities. And where we are now is we're probably going to be hitting up a buy the dip. So we're not going to turn bear market or anything like that, but we're going to get into buy the dip opportunities. And it's this buy the dip opportunity that I'm seeing coming. So where am I seeing this? Well, I'm seeing it on the monthly time frame. Now, I'm using this chart real quick, and maybe I should actually not do this. I should use the correct chart that I wanted to use for that. So I'm going to make this chart bigger, and because it's got more of the previous cycle in there. And the thing is, when we look at tops, this is monthly. And what we had on the monthly was we had a scenario where price created a higher high, both in closing and in tops. So I'm going to make it nice and wide for you guys. Let's take that away. Higher high. Okay. And what happens when price makes a higher high? Nothing until the RSI does the opposite. Then we really need to worry about this. So if I go back to this chart, higher high, what did the RSI do for this? So now this is, if you're new to the channel, might be interesting. And if you view me every day and watch it every day, you're going to say, Rudo, get something new to say. But it's so significant because once we break that, that's where things really got hairy. But now the problem that I have with the amount of success that's out there at the moment is, if I move back to this this divergence chart and I move to this section, said a continuation of a current trend. Okay, this is when you're looking for hidden divergence. Now, when we go back to this chart and we say, okay, we're running the risk of locking in hidden bearish divergence now. What does this mean? It means that from the all-time high in price, that point there, that closing price, there's the pivot. And the RSI is already going higher, while price did not manage to sweep the highs. So, do you want to be bullish? You need to be hell of a lot more bullish because price needs to go and take that out. If the monthly closes like this, okay, it's going to bring a new set of short sellers into the market. Seeing this and seeing this for what? 50% of the wick short. Okay. Now there's a lot of support for this, and we can look at the Kingfisher chart a little bit later, and where you can see a lot of these targets. So that's just something, that's just a cautionary tale. I like to give you guys your vegetables with the pudding, because at the end of the day, that keeps us healthy. Okay. So that's something that needs to just in the back of your head. We want to sweep that. Now, if we zoom back and we go to any of the other, let's go to the right chart. I'm jumping through charts today. If you go and you have a look at the previous halving cycles, and we look at the divergences there as well, you can see that for the most of this, because the RSI is so extended, the reality is that anytime we're getting close to the halving, we're going to run the risk that there will be some hidden bullish divergence at some stage. That's just logically there. So because we don't have the full picture, it's easy to say this because we haven't broken any trends yet. But what if we break a trend? And that's the worry that I have. When you have a very straight line like this, if you bring in the Kingfisher, a very straight line like that, it means there's not a lot of support liquidity in this area. Think about this. These are guys that think about selling at 68. So they would have bought somewhere down here. and. So you can see that the order book is thin. The liquidity pools are thin. And then the real big mass where a lot of buys or liquidation events are waiting is only at 51. So there's not a lot of support here. So price is in a situation where it can literally bounce around violently until it finds some sort of a structure where people can trade from, analyze from, and. Okay. And that then takes me to my point and figure chart, because it's the only realistic chart that I can use to try and navigate an area like this when we're moving into price like this. Now, I said to you guys, if we want to break trend, we need to have a 45-degree angle trend, and a 45-degree angle trend to the upside is considered a bullish trend as well. And at the moment, let's just make sure that's 45. I don't want to see this. So hopefully we're going to start deviating from something like this, because if we start on the volatility side, moving down to this area, that then will start sounding some bearish moves. Okay. That cautionary tale out of the way. The problem that we also have is, and this is the second part of what I'm saying today. So how far can we go? Let's maybe conclude. So how far can we go with Bitcoin at this moment? The fact is we've already closed within this race. So Bitcoin can go 68K probably today. That's as far as we can go. Our next resistance level is sitting in around 68K. And that's another 10%. Crazy. It can do that today, purely because look at it. It's going ballistic. Now, Altseason, this is the part that is worrying to most. If we look at this, all the pump, all the marketing that was done to get this bullish sentiment that we're enjoying at the moment, this greedy sentiment, it's done by Bitcoin. If it was the alts, they would have been sucking the liquidity out of the entire crypto sphere. But at the moment, Bitcoin is. The dominance is pushing back up again. So it's telling you that there's still time to buy some of these alts. And that brings me to the second. I'm going to share now some TP zones where some of the alts has been doing really well. And I'm going to show you some alternatives to move that profit in, because they will have a better chance of giving you insane multipliers going forward, especially if you're late, if you're looking to buy now. I have money. I haven't spent it yet. I'm looking to buy. Okay. Now, before we do that, let's just say thanks to ByBit for making this video possible for you guys. Open your own ByBit account today, and you can and fund it, and you can have up to $30,000 in deposit rewards if you deposit your crypto onto ByBit's wallet. Okay, now that's all good and dandy. If you want to join the trade group, the investment group, also what we've done is I've got the ByBit deal. All you need to do is head over to the Discord and get the ByBit deal. Open your account with that link, KYC to level 1, have at least $100 in there, and then you can claim your access. Now, nobody has been granted access as of yet. There's been a lot of guys that already claimed, I know, but ByBit is busy building a fully automated bot that will make that whole system for you. Just one click of a button. You don't have to do anything and wait. So just give that another day or so, but get your account in, because a lot of those guys had the ability to trade with us yesterday. And let's just do this. And that unlocks the entire trading area where we had our live chat. Market tactics this morning. I had to do the video twice. Idiot forgot to unmute myself. So that's it. And then a last little thing. Just get back to topic, guys. There's scammers out there. They're everywhere. They're not just in our Discord. They're in anybody. You're following everywhere. So if you get DMs, please ignore the hell of it, because I will never DM you guys. That's just the reality. I don't do that specifically because of this. If you want to talk to me, there's an open door policy. Just open a support ticket and do it within the Discord. If you want to ask me a question and you maybe don't feel like comfortable doing it in the public channels, fine. Open a ticket in the support chat. Simple as that. I do not DM. Okay. Let's get to the fun stuff now. Alts. Starting with, let's start with Ethereum. Well, I haven't even spoken to you guys yet. Let's just go through the comments real quick. ByBit ripped me once, not twice. Okay, sorry, Sandro, but don't worry, we've got another partner that you can try out if that is the case. ByBit is banned from the UK. Yes, that's the frustration with finding an exchange that fits everybody and everything. It's always a little bit of a trick. But okay, I'm going to scroll up real quick, just quickly see what everybody's doing. Hi, guys. Hi, Sayed. Elvis. Hello, buddy. Terry, good to see you. And I am so uncomfortable. Leo, you have to be uncomfortable because looking at this gains is crazy. And now I'm going to show you something else that's going to make you more uncomfortable. And I hope that it's going to take your attention off the great performers and start looking at something else because you're uncomfortable. And that is volume. So what I did was I've never really loaded volume in the charts. One, it's probably the strongest indicator out there, but it's most overlooked indicator out there because people don't quite understand volume. Now, the easiest way to look at volume is to think about how you would address and how you would analyze the sentiment of an individual, but within a crowd. So if I want to try and guess how you're doing and what you're doing and what your interest is, the best way I can do that is through metadata. It means gather a hell of a lot of people's data and then try and identify trends. And then I can have a really good educated guess. If all these people liked A and then liked B, you will probably like B as well if you liked A. You know, that type of scenario. So when you look at volume, volume is something that needs to be done by zooming out. You should not be looking at volume in a candle to candle basis. It's too, it basically doesn't give you a strong control group. So now if you look at volume, this is now Ethereum's price action. What can you see here? And I'm going to mark this out. I want to leave all the other lines and stuff, but what we can do is we can remove the RSI. Now, what can you see? When we look at these highs, and I want to mark these highs out over here as well, okay? Do you see that the volume is doing the opposite? And that's basically what the RSI gives us. It tells us there's divergence. So everything is going higher, but you can see that there's an insane decline in the amount of trading. The sentiment's good. Everybody loves it. But at the moment, the volume doesn't support that. And a healthy volume is when price goes up and the volume goes up. So looking at this, it should now become easy for you to define what needs to happen. And maybe what I need to do, looking at the way that it's at the moment, is let's just make it doesn't matter red or yellow or green or whatever the case. But you can see that volume goes up as price goes up. And then when we're at all-time highs, volume is down there, like it was there. That's divergence, my friends. Okay. So now if we look at Ethereum at this stage, Ethereum is where you need to be at. There's no divergence. If I bring in the RSI, no divergence. Why? There's a spot ETH ETF on its way. Ethereum's probably going to gap all-time high pretty soon, and it's probably going to go 5-6K. That's the reality. People are going to be buying in anticipation of that happening. Okay. And there's no divergence, which means the amount of buying power still sitting behind this was there. But now let's look at Solana real quick. Solana is now going into all-time highs again for this current cycle from the lows. But now look at the volume in relation to what price is doing. And Solana's in our sell zone. We did enough technical analysis to show you guys that that's a potential top for Solana for now. Now I want to take this information and just take a step back again and say, let's go to Bitcoin on Binance on the weekly. And if we look at how divergences work, okay, maybe let's use Bitfinex. This will give you a better picture. Okay. What happens is, as price creates its first divergence, volume starts trending down. And as price goes on higher, you can see volumes going away. And that is a warning sign. And then when we went even higher, volume was lower relative to that. Okay, lower volume. So if that is the case, what should we guard against? We want to make sure that when something is going ballistic, If the volume keeps on growing, it means there's still new people entering. The adoption is healthy. Leave it. So if I go back to Ethereum, like I've explained to you guys, the volume looks good. If I go to Solana, the volume is going away. So although it's going up, people that are holding on Solana now probably are buying because of the success it had, thinking that it's going to continue on. And smart money is probably looking elsewhere. Now, if you look at AVAX, example, it's also on its way to the sell zone. Volume is diminishing. So I'm waiting to offload my AVAX as well as my Solana. Okay. Looking at Matic, volume is relatively flat. Yes, there's a slight decrease, but remember now you need to look at this from a big point of view. So for me, Matic has still got a lot to go. It's like Ethereum. So if I had to choose between Solana and Matic, or Ethereum and Solana, or AVAX for that matter, I would rather go with these. Bitcoin Cash, let's have a look at the volume real quick. Look, we're still holding for targets. There's the targets marked out, guys. And the market's bullish at the moment. So it's a safe, good bet. It's going to get there. Look at the volume. Still stable. XRP, still stable. This was our buy zone. XRP is on its way to TP1. Stable volume. But now, yet again, Link was one of the early performers. What's happening? Higher high, volumes trending down. It's telling you that less and less people are buying in on Link now. Why? Because they bought here and it's just there. So from their point of view, Link only went up 25%, where something else is going up 100%. Why the hell should I be in Link? Okay. Another one that's performing really well now should be, okay. So this was the targeted area. It's now swept the higher high. All the supply is now in there, and it will probably go up to that point first before it comes back down. And this tells me that our third buy zone is not that far away. There will be a pullback, and I'm going to wait for Shiba Inu in that area. Uniswap, same thing now. We've been buying Uni up like crazy, and it broke that line. I said if it breaks the line, there's going to be more to come. Look at where it's at, and now it's made that higher high. Thank you, Uniswap. Wait for the third buying opportunity now, guys. So you want to wait for this to happen, because then Uniswap will probably beat Bitcoin to the BTC pairing in gains as well. And that will probably only be when the dominance starts changing its strength. At the moment, it's not doing that. So enjoy the gains, but yes, take note of that. Dogecoin, same thing. Took off from the buy zone, and it is about to try and make that higher high. So let this thing run. We'll probably run past that area there and then come back. How much gains do we have now? Already about 50%. Probably going to do 100% before we're going to turn back down. Cardano. I love Cardano, but now it's in that same area as Solana, guys. Volume is diminishing considerably, and we're in that area there. So unless, and remember, unless the next week everybody decides to buy Cardano and it keeps on going up and the volume keeps picking up again, which could happen, crazy volume bar like that, that is the reality. If there's nobody lining up to buy the thing, it can't go up any more high. It can't go up any higher, guys. BNB is flying now. I mean, I got you guys in there at 226. We're sitting in at $400 on BNB, where nobody wanted BNB. I explained to you guys the divergence, the significance of the support and resistance levels, and that's it. BNB is a machine. It's flying, but the volume is diminishing. So at some stage, all the success that you see now needs to be brought back into perspective. Then we're going to continue on. Okay. Fantom at this stage. Fantom at this stage. It's in the worst case scenario TP area. With the current bullish sentiment, maybe we can be hopeful and wait for 64. Okay. Comp did nothing forever. Nothing. Look at where Comp is at today. 100. So now, if you look at this, if it can do that in a week, now the 266 becomes reasonable, and the 1,000% gains that I'm waiting for, this is going to come. Okay. But before that happens, guys, Comp will probably come back to $70. That's your last time to buy this. Buy this rather than BTC, because then you're going to make your 1,000%. BTC cannot give you 1,000%. I hope I'm wrong, but it cannot give it. Curve has now got a weekly outside this momentum. Still a little early, But with the current sentiment, I'm going to keep an eye on this still. I think Curve is going to make a hell of a lot of money, guys. 4,000%. Rather be in something like that. Okay. Now, here's an example. Let's just do this. Here's an example of more volume disappearing, but it's not made a higher high. So until that does, this is still good to hold. Lower volume there is fine. Okay, but you don't want to see this thing going higher. Okay. Then SEA or SEI. Okay, say. And I'm going to hit this back to the 4-hour time frame. I gave you guys this buy zone and I said grab this buy zone. But look at the volume. And this is what bothers me now. So if this thing doesn't get new buyers and new marketing on it, it's probably going to break trend and just go back down. So you're in a situation where this buy zone is already 13, 14% up. You're in profit. Don't let this thing take money out of your account. Run it, stop it, break even for that matter. But at this stage, this is a warning. Okay. Filecoin. I explained to you guys, Filecoin is going to make a hell of a lot of money. Hit back to the weekly time frame. Filecoin is going to make a hell of a lot of money. 8,000% based on the technicals. Look at where it's at now. Look at what it did this week alone. 31% just for the week there. And the problem with Filecoin is it's been front running me because I missed that buy by a few pixels and I missed that buy by a few pixels. So hopefully Filecoin is going to do this. It's going to go sweep this area and then come back. And then I can buy this thing finally because I don't have enough Filecoin. Okay. Atom is another one that I would rather have. You can see that it's getting ready to break out. That was the alternative buy zone shared with you guys about a week ago. And the sky is the limit, $23. So Atom's probably going to do what all the others did. Doge did. With that big dildo there. Shiba Inu did. Okay, it's going to drive into that gap. So let's give Atom that same opportunity. Celestia, love it, but I'm not convinced anymore. Look at the volume. Okay, so we're trapped in the range. Let this thing fight its out because a lot of hopefuls pulled in, but you can see that the interest is going away. So maybe we need to go away as well. Okay, let's have a look at SUI. It reached its objective. Interest is going away. I'm going to go away. I leave 0. Volume is still there. Its interest is there. Higher volume, lower price. So I'm going to give this thing the benefit of the doubt and still hold for the target. Remember, the target is there. That's the target for leave 0. Okay. Centrifuge. Go back to the weekly. Big volume. Okay. Low, low. I'll still hold centrifuge. But once it gets there, if the volume isn't higher, I'm out. Okay. Luxos. I want to bring this one in because shit fails as well. Now you can see how it's working on the other one. This was buy zone A, shot through, buy zone B, shot through. This thing is just dumping, guys. And as it's going, people are getting out of this thing because the volume's going higher and higher and higher as more people are getting out of this thing. Now, where can this thing go? I don't know because it's now almost entering price discovery. This is the last little bit of support, significant support, where it's bouncing or sitting on top of. Break through this. If Bitcoin goes and maybe goes and tests 50K for that matter, this thing will break through these levels and go back to $5. So that's a sad one. Failed. Okay. Then when you look at Mantle, look at that. Look at the volume. I'm offloading. Okay. This was pre-market price. Everybody that got this thing on pre-market bought there. Okay. Remember the Badao. That's the original name. We're there. Be part of resistance, guys. Get the money out because there will be discount here. Okay. This one, Satoshi EVM. I'm now done with this one. I shared this with you guys. A lot of guys said, well, but it's a scammer and people are pumping this thing. I don't care because I wanted to make money. I've made money Done. Now I can leave it. Okay. And now here's another one I want to bring to your attention. This is now one of those that's been dead. I see a 260% a year real quick. It's in a buy zone. Okay, let's hit the weekly in. Volume is nowhere. So when this thing's going to take off, it's going to fly. Okay. Let's get back to the 4 hour. Look, I hate doing analysis like this on smaller time frames, like 4 hours, because a lot can happen within a 4 hour. But now you've got an overextended RSI. So price now needs to go do this, make a lower low on the daily, on the 4 hour. With the RSI being that high up now, we'll probably have what? Strong bullish divergence. That's going to start bringing price in. So I'll start looking at this as opposed to something like Solana. Okay. Bonk. So our first bonk setup played out beautifully. Boom, 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 hit our TPs. I wanted this target. I missed it, guys. Remember, we're not going to get them all. That's the thing. But if you look at the RSI, there's more to come. So for bonk, a lot. Look at that breakout volume there. So when are you going to buy bonk back if you want to get in on bonk? There. Simple as that. Okay. OP. OP is still on its way. I'm going to go back to the weekly time frame. Okay. Volume's low, prices high. OP, I think, it's pretty much had its time. Maybe a little bit more with the volume being like this. And probably then OP is going to come right back and test that same buy zone. So I'll look to take some profit. Use this bullish sentiment to take some profit. Pepe, I was looking at Pepe the other day and I said to you guys, well, it's going to probably do something like that. And look at that. I didn't buy do anything about it. So it's me kicking the cat. Okay, Titan X, dead. This is probably one of those I wish, come on, man, maybe I should have waited. Volume is picking up as we're going down. We're in this month basically making a lower month to month, but you can't look at this, you know, in that light. Let's bring in the daily time frame. What are we getting? The RSI is trending up still, and we made yet another lower low. So we are making another strong bullish divergence. So keep an eye out on this one. It's gonna make a hell of a lot of money, but I'm done buying divergences for now. I've got enough position. I'm gonna just leave it be. Let's see where it wants to go. Wilkin, Bison still sitting there. RSI all looks neutral in this end. Volume still relatively flat. This thing still needs time. It will probably still have its moment to go. And then I've got, let's quickly go through this. Beam. Beam is probably going to be the big mover for now. We're close to this level here. We've looked at it in this consolidation, that area, and we broke through and explained to you guys what I see happening. Divergence, but the volume's still looking okay. We're above the worry of the divergence. So this is bullish. So it will probably, this one will probably break out, go to 4 cents, and could still probably tag 9 cents within the next week or so. So keep an eye on Beam. Okay, Rose. Okay, this was our buy zone from Rose, and I'm going to give you the TP zone for Rose. It's about to go to TP. Okay, if it gets to 20 cents, I won't TP anymore. Okay, Immutable X, same thing now. Volume's gone high. Where's the volume? There's divergence in there. I would consider not grabbing Immutable X now. I would rather buy Rose. Okay, and then the last one, Zilliqa or Zil. Marked it out for you guys. This is early. Okay. This is going to do a lot of things once it breaks through that supply wave. Those are going to be the 2 targets. Azul has got a lot of move in it. So, yeah, get your eyes on that. Right, guys, let's quickly go through your comments. I haven't looked at anything. Kifu looking good, Falcon. What are you saying about entries for Manta? Let's see. File, please. TA, STG, Kochi, Immutable X. Pretty much it. A lot of them. Let's look for a nice comment. Say, please keep in mind that the BTC sellers are crypto guys. So no money will stay in crypto. They are not going to fiat. Just a thought. Yeah, but remember, that's a really good comment. This is how bull markets or alt seasons function, the money doesn't leave the ecosystem, okay? So although we sell BTC, it's going to go Ethereum. Ethereum is busy picking up. Then it's going to go more and more. And this gets, when it starts going into these, when the IDO waves start hitting, that is probably when money then leaves. Money doesn't go from alt season back to BTC. Then it goes to stable. Okay, so you just need to remember the cycle of money and try and just track the fact that this is the emotional market cycle. This is how people work. Okay. Right, guys, that's about everything from me for today. Everything we have time for. Oz Guy, thanks again for reminding me. Perfectly timing, guys. Show support for the channel. Links to Kingfisher, token metrics, something interesting I want to share with you guys on token metrics as well, in the video description. So if you want to get a trial, check these platforms out, open an account with those links there, and there's also discount coupons in there, so you guys can get a better deal. So this is something interesting I just quickly want to share with you guys. The bull bear, the TM grade switched bullish a while ago, and we looked at the alts, and the alts started pushing up bullish again. We've got a 95 bull bear grade here, and all looks dandy. But this is something interesting. So the trading volume on everything is double of what it normally is. But if you think about it, the trading volume is doubled, okay? But look at the amount of gains, 9%, and that is basically entailing exactly what I see in the alts. Most of these alts, and I'm going to pick on Solana because it's the big cat, okay? Most of these alts, if you look at the volume now, trading volume is up. But why isn't the volume up? Where's the new buyers? Where's the new people? So people are using this. Money is doing something, but it's not staying. It's leaving. Okay. So in this instance, money is leaving. Trading volume is up. It's leaving. It's looking for something better. So you should too. Okay. There we go. That's everything for today. 37 minutes in. We're going to be back tomorrow again, guys. So I'm going to call it. Thanks so much for taking the time, spending some time with me on YouTube. Remember, get your ByBit deal. All you need to do, go to the Discord, go to the navigation, get the ByBit deal. Come on, come trade with me. And don't be scammed. I do not DM. And keep safe, keep hustling, and I'll see you again tomorrow, guys. Cheers, everybody.
I'll keep hustling.
Subscribe now.